Oh yeah. You can see my fluid's flowing out. Hey everyone, Jared here, and I'm back with yet another Tractor Basics video. And in this video, we are going to discuss something that's been talked about quite a bit in the Facebook groups recently. And that's going to be the fluid level in your front axle. So we all know part of the PDI, pre-delivery inspection from a dealer, should be to check the tractor out, fill, top off all fluids, grease it, and do all of that, right? So you would assume and hope that they would fill your front axle. And more times than not, they do fill it. But if you find it low, I'm sure the first thing you're going to want to do is blame the dealer, right? Well, don't be so quick to do that, and I'll tell you why. It is not uncommon for these axles to trap air bubbles in them and the fluid not be able to get down and fill all of the recesses. So a dealer may truly fill it up to the level that it's supposed to be. And if your axle did trap air, the dealer could have filled it up and had fluid running out of the check hole and not realizing that there was air trapped. So after you go and use your tractor for a little while, it will usually work all of those air bubbles out and the fluid will flow down into where it needs to be. And now all of a sudden your fluid is low. Is that any fault of the dealer? I'm going to say not really, because do you want the dealer going and putting hours on your tractor to try to get that air out, or would you just rather that be something you take care of yourself? For me, I would rather just take care of it myself. So I'm going to go grab my manual and we'll grab some tools and I'll show you what it takes to check the fluid on your tractor. It's super simple. It's something I would highly recommend you do when you first get your tractor, and then do it again, maybe after 10 hours and again after 50 hours. Just to make sure that the fluid is not flowing down and any more air bubbles have come out. So you're going to need the operator's manual for your tractor, whether you have it in paper form or online via the app. And then once you have that, we're going to locate the maintenance section of the book. For mine, directly after the maintenance intervals is the area where it talks about lubricants, fuel, and coolant. Now, my front axle there's the capacities, is filled with Kubota Super UDT2. That's what it's filled with at the dealer. You can also use SAE 80 to 90 gear oil. Since mine already has Super UDT2, that's what I'm going to top mine off with. But I know guys that as seals wear, and if they are leaking a little bit, they will add the gear oil. And they'll continue to add that, so it'll thicken up the fluid, and then it'll be less likely to drain out from any slightly worn seals. In the maintenance interval section, the front axle oil doesn't need to be changed till 400 hours, but what it tells me is on page 109, it tells me how to do it. On page 109, here it shows the drain. So at 400 hours, this will be how I drain it to get it out of the knuckle. Number 1 is the check plug. So you're going to fill the axle up until it pours out of that plug. And number 2 is the fill plug. Now, whether you're dealing with this axle, an axle in a vehicle or whatever, and you're getting ready to check or drain anything, always, always, always loosen and remove your fill plug before you drain anything out. The last thing you want to do is to find out that that is seized or stuck or something's happened and you drain fluid out but don't have a way to refill it. So we're going to remove the fill plug first and then we will remove the check plug. So my axle happens to be a 27 millimeter and a 14 here. So we're going to loosen the fill first. Now I'm going to loosen the check. Oh yeah. You can see my fluid's flowing out. So if you did not have fluid flowing out, you would continue to take your fill plug off, use a funnel, and then top it off until you saw fluid coming out. All right, everyone. Today's video was super short, simple, and hopefully helpful and clear up some questions that people may have about their front axle fluid. So once again, could it be the dealer's fault? Absolutely. Should you be quick to blame them right off the get-go? Maybe not. So check your fluid, do it when you get your tractor, do it at 10 hours, do it again at 50 hours, and then you should be okay. If you can, do me a favor and go down in the comments and drop me a line and let me know if you had to top off your axle, and if you did, how much you had to top it off. I think I've had to top mine off less than a quart, probably. So I got lucky maybe. I know other guys have had to use at least a couple quarts. I've even heard reports of a gallon or more. So I would like to hear from you how much fluid it took for you to top off your front axle. So please, once again, pause the video, drop down in the comments and let me know that. And if you found today's video helpful, please do me a favor and like the video by hitting the thumbs up button. Then subscribe and hit the bell notification to be notified of upcoming videos. And as always, have a great rest of your day.